Little One by Emily Ming and Wang. I don't know how this happened, but I grew up thinking I was a snake, that the people around me were family, that their hurtful squeezes were just hug mistakes. Sometimes they would bite at me. Even then I knew this wasn't right. But family doesn't hurt each other. There is only love, right? I always knew that I was different. They were long and lean, and I was small and grew appendages that would stretch out and grow things. Those things, which I now know are called feathers, would grow incessantly, and my appendages were getting stronger, which I now know them as my wings. And as I was changing and trying out new activities, I'd spread out my new feathers and flap, flap my new wings. My family would laugh at me. Look, she thinks she can fly. How foolish of her. It's impossible. I don't even know why she tries. But I couldn't help it. Something in me wouldn't die. I kept flapping and flapping, getting stronger, till one day I swore I felt flight. That was the wind carrying you. What an embarrassing sight! And with that, they bit my wings, some feathers fell. Now see if you can fly. And as hard as I could not be lifted. I felt embarrassment from my family's eyes. And I felt so foolish for trying to leave them, though it wasn't my intention nor foresight. What were you expecting, younging? To leave us on the ground? Did you really think your abilities would take you further than the life we have built for you? Does that not sound unsound? So as my feathers grew, my family took turn taking bites. You're so lucky to have us. No one else would be so nice. Sometimes they bit a little further, cutting into my skin. My body would bleed red blood, and their venom would seep into my system. Don't you know what you are doing? You've bit me many times before. What you do hurts me. It hurts me too much to ignore. And as time grew, they became more careless, blasé with their ways. Their bites became more stronger, more frequent. My body began to misshape. Scars covered my appendages. Their venom made my wings dead with weight. And my family laughed out loud. No one else could love such a mistake. And if my own family doesn't see my value, maybe this whole world sees the same. One day, I saw a river and made a decision I should drown. Life had no purpose for me. I was a burden walking on the ground. I got closer to the river, saw my reflection. This was it. And when I put my foot into the water, I heard a chirp, chirp, chirp and missed. Someone who looked like me, before experience took its place, was hopping amongst the branches. Get away from there. It's not safe. I heard a rustle in the bushes, and with that, the stranger was gone. Out of the bushes came my family. Little One, what's wrong? Nothing. I did not share my encounter with the stranger who spoke from space. I followed my family back home, but that one encounter changed my entire fate. I went the next day to the river to wait and waited around. I wanted to see the stranger without my family finding out. Chirp, 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 and he came around with others, many others who looked like he. I'm glad to see you, said the stranger. I was safe. That rustle was my family. You do realize you are a bird living with a family of snakes. What are you talking about? Bird. It means you are a flying creature, and snakes usually see us as meat. Gasp, I thought. You're a liar. Snakes are my family. They are the only ones in this entire world who love me. I don't think you're seeing your situation clearly. We are birds. We fly around and see this world from a different angle. From up high, you will see you are living with those who put you in grave danger. Leave, I said, and I turned around to escape such crazy sayings. That is fine, but please check what your family keeps hidden near the oak tree. Oak tree? How foolish! My family wouldn't be around. Oak trees are nefarious, my family taught me, so I never dared to find out. But I found myself walking in such a hesitant rush, I almost didn't want to check the oak tree, but my inner voice told me to hurry up. A pile of chopped feathers, which were undoubtedly mine, and a plan of using my feathers to build fake wings so that my snake family could fly. I couldn't believe it. This couldn't be right. This whole time, my own family was hurting me not out of love, but out of spite. If she thinks she can do it, why can't I? We still need some feathers from her. Haven't we clipped enough? And I ran out of sight. These feathers need to be longer, but if she grows them longer, she just might. Realize the problem has been us all along. Us clipping them makes her unable to fly. My reality came crashing. I couldn't have heard them right. There must be some sort of misunderstanding. Family doesn't do wrong to each other. Family only treats each other right. Little one, you're here. Please, don't clip my wings. That is funny because we are all too tired to bother to do anything. And our conflict became peaceful as long as our dynamics stayed the same. I woke up the next morning, unable to move my head. Something felt heavy on me. I looked around. It was a heavy, heavy rope net. We need you to grow your feathers, but cannot let you get away. This whole time you're hurting me on purpose. It's your own fault you're fooled so naively. But everything about family, love, trust, was that a lie? You, little one, are nothing. They left me there to die, and I cried. Without them biting me constantly, my feathers grew and grew. The venom that once paralyzed my wings eventually weakened without new bites being issued. Sometimes I'd poke out my feathers and feel the wind breeze by. The sun felt so warm against my body, but with the net over me, I couldn't reach the sky. Blame, a losing battle, memories ruminating through my mind. Some days I didn't even bother to stand. The effort took too much might. One night, when everyone was sleeping, some creatures flew by. Who caught you? You see me at night? He was the bird by the river. They built a net over me, preventing my flight. You can get out of this, you know. Just take a bite. And he flew over and began to peck. My net loosened, but it didn't feel right. Don't help me with your help. You're a stranger versus my family. My situation is not great, but the unknown has no guarantees. Even if I break this rope, you're not ready to be free. You'll choose to stay inside this net, not knowing how to flee. And the friends that he came with slowly began to see me through the leaves. Here, meet my brother. His name is Keith. Tell her I'm a cool brother. He's cool, but he spends a lot of time reading. Here, meet Ben. He's my best friend. We've known each other since we were tiny, tiny, tiny eggs. Who are you? Who are these people? Why are you introducing them to me? I'm trying to show you there are good people and you're better off leaving your so-called family. What do they call you? My name is Drew, and you? They call me Little One. Little One. That sounds cool. It's almost morning, and it'll be bright, but I'll come back in the evening. Maybe one day you'll understand why. He taught me the mechanics of flying. I had no idea so much physics went into flight. There's wind to take you further, but it's up to you to still try. Exercise can make you stronger. Positive thoughts stretch a negative mind. I tried new things like eating squiggly worms. They're filling? You'd be surprised. Why are you doing this? I don't know. You come across as being neat. But am I not an ugly creature? Little One, you have stars in your eyes all the way down to your feet. And during our discussion, there was a rustle. My snake family was awake. Who are you? I am Drew. And they tried eating him like he was bait. Drew yelled out, "You have to bite!" But even then, I didn't want to try. Change is scary, the future fearful, but what good is my current life? And I. Peck, 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 I couldn't stop. Seeing Drew revolving, around, over, on top of them, making sure I was unguarded. Hey, what are you doing? Snakes, I'm leaving. She has enough plumage. Let's kill her and end this drama already. Drew flew off. He was nowhere in sight. Trusting others can be iffy. Some will worsen your plight. I saw their fangs, dripping with venom. Scared yet I accepted my fate. But then I heard something like a miracle. Was that squawking in the night? Hawks. The snakes swelled. Everyone has an enemy. What's harmful to one is beneficial to another, and I started pecking. Quick, Drew landed. These large praying hawks aren't real. They're a bunch of tiny birds pretending. Quick, the snakes yelled. seeing me escaping. They slithered closer for the kill, but ironically, more birds began landing and started pecking. Why are you doing this? You don't even know me. It's because we know the difference between right and wrong, and I realized I was stronger than I was led to believe. I was free. I flew away with Drew and his friends, birds of every decree. They had no idea who I was, but that didn't stop them from helping me. As we were flying away from a life I wish and want to leave behind, my family yelled, "She's a snake!" And they said, "Maybe to you, but she's a beautiful bird in our eyes."